The weight of the feather. Daniel Moore was the kind of man everyone admired from a distance. At 38, he had the perfect life. A successful career in finance, a stunning home with glass walls overlooking the city, and a social media feed filled with curated smiles, vacation snapshots, and gym selfies. But behind the closed doors of that sleek aimant, Daniel's silence was louder than any applause. He was constantly anxious, waking up with tightness in his chest and a question he never dared to say out loud. What am I doing all this for? He lived in a world that praised performance but never paused to ask about peace. One Thursday morning, Daniel was scheduled to fly to Chicago for a high-stakes deal. But something inside him, a strange, quiet rebellion, told him not to board the plane. Instead, he got in his car and drove, aimlessly, for hours. No music, no podcast, just the hum of tires on asphalt. By evening, he found himself in a forgotten little town called Elms Bridge. It wasn't on his GPS, and it looked like it hadn't changed since the 1970s. On impulse, he checked into a modest and called Featherlight. The elderly woman at the front desk, Ms. Ada, looked at him kindly and said, "You're not lost. You're just tired of being found in the wrong places." Daniel planned to stay a night. He stayed 3 weeks. He spent his days walking through Elms Bridge's meadows, helping at the local bookstore, and talking with people who didn't care about his job title. There was James, the war veteran who taught him how to fix a squeaky door without YouTube. Mia, a teenage girl who wrote poetry but never shared it. And Rosa, a single mom who worked at the bakery and reminded Daniel of what strength really looked like. Each night at the inn, Ms. Ada would ask, "Did you let go of any weight today?" At first, he didn't understand, but then slowly he did. One evening, Ada handed Daniel a plain wooden box. Inside, it was a single white feather. "People who stay here," she explained, "leave something behind before they go. Not something you can touch. Something heavy. We give them this feather as a reminder. Once you've let go of what burdens you, you become lighter. You learn how to float through life again." Daniel stared at the feather, and for the first time in years, tears filled his eyes, not from sadness, but relief. He realized he had been carrying the weight of proving his worth, chasing applause, and fearing failure for most of his adult life. He didn't need to prove anything to be worthy of peace. When Daniel returned to the city, he didn't go back to the same job. He resigned with no backup plan and picked up time work consulting for nonprofits. He started journaling, volunteering, learning to cook meals that took longer than 5 minutes in a microwave. He kept the feather in his coat pocket, and every time the noise of the world tried to pull him back into proving, chasing, or comparing, he would touch it and whisper, "I'm not heavy anymore." Moral, listen. We all carry something. Expectations, shame, perfectionism, fear of being unseen. But we were never meant to hold on to it forever. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what weight can I finally lay down today? You are not lazy for resting. You are not selfish for choosing peace. You are not lost. You're just on a detour that might lead you home.